Hi, my name is Noel Davis with Wormiculture, and here's our week 30 update on our new worm bin. So we're going to take a look and see how it's doing. Last time it was doing pretty well. We added some food. This time we're probably going to do the same thing, but let's take a look at it and see how it's doing really. So here we go. Here's our bin. And first thing first, of course, the top's a little dry this time. There's no moisture on the top really. Well, maybe a little bit over here and over there. But it's really pretty dry. A couple worms on there, but not bad. Let's take a look at the bin. It's I don't know if you can tell, but this is compressed down a little bit more than what it was before. A few worms on the outsides here, you know, a couple up there. You know, they might be just wandering normally, but sometimes that can be a sign that there's something wrong. Normally you'd see a lot more though if there's something wrong. All right, bins. This feels really moist digging in here. So this probably has enough moisture, but if you can't see here, there's lots of worms. Caught on a string here from the burlap. Lots of worms in here. I see one fruit fly on the side of the bin, but I'm not seeing anything on top here, which is a good sign. Let's just dig in here a little bit more. Okay, this is where we put the food last time. And I'm actually ripping apart a banana peel, it looks like, but let's just zoom in over here a little bit. So, I'm guessing you can see some of the worms right over here. Let's just dig in a little bit more. All right, there's plenty of worms down here. So they're all over here. And, oh, look at that. Some of this stuff is not even fully consumed. Tons of worms in this area, which I expect. I mean, this is where I fed, so you're going to see lots of worms in here. So there's even more worms, more food that's not consumed yet. We might not feed the bin, actually. This is why sometimes it's a good idea to check on this stuff, because I mean I can see that this is a full banana peel right here almost, but then we have these other pieces of melon in there still. Just move a little bit more of this out of the way. I don't know if you can see that, but right over here there's a ton of worms. So, and even more down here. I mean there's even more. I mean this is wow, look at this. All right. So look at all the worms in there. And you can see them all right down in there too. So really it's doing well, but they have not finished really consuming this stuff. Somewhat, but not really as much as I would like. So I'm probably not going to feed them this week. What we're going to do is we're going to just kind of bury this back down in there. That'll prevent the fruit flies, as I've mentioned in the past. All right, this is one long string in there. I guess the burlap had maybe a piece of something in it. All right, now this is a banana peel right on top. You cannot have banana peels on top of your bin. I'm going to tell you right now, that is a horrible idea. Banana peels have more fruit flies on them than anything else I've seen when they're on top. So, all right. Now let's back up here and let's take a look in the bin a little bit more on this side, see what's going on over, if anything's going on over here. So, I'm seeing some worms, but not a whole lot. It's a little drier on this end than it was over there where all the food was. Let's just dig this up from the bottom a little bit. It's starting to get very compacted. There's a piece of a banana peel in here actually still. And this bin is actually really, at this point, it's very well established. This would be the point where typically, if I had another bin, what I would do is probably divide this in half, take half this material, take it over to a new bin, load up this other half with more shredded cardboard and some food, and start getting a new bin going with it. Because look at this. This over here. This a lot of this stuff I mean is very well composted. There's still paper in it, obviously, or the cardboard that we put in, but it's very, very well composted. So this is almost ready, really, to be divided or sorted through. And maybe we will do is we won't feed this week, and maybe in a couple weeks, you know, we'll let it sit. Let them slowly keep working through this stuff. I usually try to wait till this burlap is gone because this burlap is really hard to sort through. But and then sort the worms as I've done in some of my other processes to try to empty them out and get them ready for something else. So, but you really want to try to make sure as much as possible is consumed. You really want this to be you almost want to find no paper in it really when you're doing your sorting. So we'll take a look in another week and see how this is looking, and we'll see if maybe it's time to start sorting this. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if we can, like, this is all the burlap that's left right here. I think is this one piece, which, as I said, this isn't. I mean, this isn't that bad really. I mean, this is all that's left. But there's a lot of worms in here in the burlap too. I don't know if you can see those. Let's just zoom in here real quick. So, try not to move too quickly, but so there's little worms here on the burlap that are dug in. Like burlap, I find is a great area for worms to congregate in. A couple big ones on here too. I'm not seeing any cocoons though. I thought I would see some cocoons or something, but I'm not seeing those at all. In the past, I have found that burlap is really good for a place for the worms to sort of lay cocoons. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's because it's a little bit rough. It usually is a little bit airy, but it usually is a decent area to find cocoons. But none this time. So that's our update. I'm going to put this back over here where the food was. And we'll see if this looks a little bit more composted the next time. It's still a good moisture content, actually. I was worried about it being a little bit dry, but it's not too bad. It's probably something where if I squeezed it, I could maybe get a drop of water out, which is about what you want. You don't want it soaking wet, but you do want it you don't want it, because if it's soaking wet, it turns into mud, and this just sticks together, and then you can't get it apart. And there are some places that typically that happens with, near the food and everything, but this is actually looking really good. So I'm happy with this, and we're just gonna let it sit. I think we're gonna skip feeding this week because of the leftover food in the bin. You don't want to put in too much, because you can. Well, you could put in more than I could put in more. I could add more to this side and it would spread them out and everything, but I'd like them to sort of finish what they're working on, because there was a lot there still, and I don't really want to have the food start to break down and also overload the bin where it starts to smell or anything. So no odor here at all still, which is good, and that's the bin, so we're doing pretty good. So that's my update for week 30. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope your bins are doing as well as mine is. Thank you, and bye.